And then John Rhyder. He is here to teach us how to weave bark.
Oh. I got involved in it really just as an extension of my interest in nature, because that's fundamentally what it is at its core. It's just an indigenous skill set based around the natural world and reading the landscape in a slightly different way.
So what else do you do then, John?
I'm a natural history specialist with a particular emphasis in wildlife and wildlife tracking. There are thousands of plants and trees and fungi in our British flora. I specialise in the things that might have been used for food or medicine or for craft. We form a circle around the fire, and I believe bushcraft is a natural science. I like being a practical naturalist, so instead of going through ticking things off, you're actually learning them a little bit more intimately. Sort of simple footprints really. So what I'm going to do is a little bit here, just sign, because you can make your own discoveries with nature all the time. It's not so much about fighting the elements and trying to best Mother Nature. It's more about understanding what's out here and the possibilities that it offers. And this is a plant called sanicle, which is used herbally but isn't edible, and probably not something you want to be eating a lot of. So that might be in terms of wild food, wild medicines, just understanding what animals have been around. And throughout all of that, it's still about being able to look after yourself and being able to navigate through the landscape. See the beetle cases there shining? It's fox dropping. It's quite old, it's been there a while. I saw it a few days ago, which is why it doesn't smell so bad.
Anyone up for the buzz now?
Warm and squidgy. Learning to make water safe and make fires and build shelters is only the tip of the iceberg, and that knowledge is relatively easily learnt. It's quite quick. The lifetime study comes in understanding what everything does and how it fits in and what you can do with it yourself. To me, it's about being able to walk into an area and knowing what that bird is that's making that noise, where the animals are likely to be at that time of day, at that time of year, where you're likely to be able to find water and be able to find food. It's that intimate understanding of your natural world. In recent years, I've been instrumental in introducing an international tracking standard into the UK, Cyber Tracker, which started in South Africa as a way of evaluating tracking skills in terms of track and sign identification, but also in trailing or following the animal. That was then taken from South Africa to America, and myself and another company brought some guys over from the States to start evaluating UK trackers. It's quite phenomenal, the level of detail that you can pull out from tracks. Toe number 3 becomes this toe, toe number 4 becomes this toe, toe number 5 becomes this one. So effectively those two have gone back and those two are forward. So instead of going out and trying to physically find them and radio tag them, it was a question of people being able to go into areas long after the animals have left, but being able to recognise their track and sign so they'd know exactly what was there, and to some extent, estimate their numbers and their population densities. Bushcraft implies some stewardship of the land. I mean, our ancestors knew all of this, I'm convinced. Instead of acquiring skills, people do buy kit thinking that will substitute the skills. The hard stuff to learn gets left out. It takes quite a lot of dedication to get your head around all of that. I'm constantly learning through experimentation and through researching, especially with plants and trees. I also hang out with botanists and herbalists and tracking experts from America that I've been lucky enough to sort of attend courses with and be evaluated by and learn a few more skills. Instead of just going in there as somebody that's watching it, ticking things off, or going in there to exploit it, you're hopefully going in there to participate, which is how it feels when you walk into the woods and you start to understand it, which is what is really exciting about it, I think.